He is the executive chef for the Fresh Chili Company of Las Cruces, New Mexico, where he and Sue now reside. Ladies and gentlemen, the living legend, CaJohn Hard.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to ZestFest 2021, the hottest show in town. We're going to start off today making a simple jalapeno sauce. And then we're going to transition into making stacked enchiladas. It's going to be a fun time for all, I hope. We're going to use fresh jalapenos, some fresh onion, some garlic, some salt, a little bit of sugar, and then we're going to add some New Mexico green chili powder to it. The one thing about doing the powders with the sauce is it stays on your tongue longer, gives you more of the flavor. So we didn't really have any jalapeno powder, so we go with the green chili powder. There was red out here, and I had to go back and try to find it, plus get a few more jalapenos. Now, this is a very classic Louisiana-style sauce. And we're going to put this little thing together here. We're going to start out putting the whole jalapenos in here. This sauce, the basic recipe for this sauce has won quite a few of the golden chilies. And we kind of owned the Louisiana style for a while until we kind of got out of competition and I got into judging back 2013. And now we're back in it with a new owner, but we are winning some again. But congratulations to our friends from Honduras who ended up grand champion of the event, Lengua de Fuego. So this is white vinegar. And I'm kind of doing this by sight, and I never really quite make this the same way each time, just because I never have the same. I was afraid of that.
CaJohn.
Yes, sir.
We've got a couple of dignitaries that are here in attendance.
Oh, yeah?
If you wouldn't mind, is it okay if I acknowledge them?
Sure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you've seen on the Food Network countless times, we have world-renowned pitmasters Leanne Whippen and celebrating his birthday, Dr. Barbecue Ray Lampy.
Okay. You know what we'd really like to do? I'd like everyone that's here to let's sing happy birthday to Dr. Ray Lampy. Dr. Barbecue. Okay. Joel, give us a start.
Happy birthday to you.
Come on, a little more energy.
Happy birthday to you. Spicy, fiery birthday, Dr. Barbecue. Happy birthday to you.
That's all it took. Now it's working. Okay, now that we're moving forward and I'm throwing things all over the place, let's get going. Ray and I go way back, and Ray's getting ready to come out with a line of barbecue sauces that Hot Shots, the people who bought CaJohn's Fiery Foods, are going to proudly distribute. So that's what he's here for. Unfortunately, with the shortage of glass, he didn't have his product come with him, but it'll get here. Okay, so we got that ground up. We're going to add a little bit of sugar into this. Not a whole lot, because it's just to do some balance to the vinegar. We'll add some salt. We'll add some fantastic Hatch green chili powder. And then we're going to put a pretty good amount of garlic in here. Okay, we're just going to let that sit and let those flavors meld a little bit. Now it's kind of a creamy color of green, but if we cooked it, it would turn brown. That's one of the weird things about jalapenos. But anyway, the green chilies turn black when you roast them, and it's beautiful out there in Hatch, New Mexico this time of year. All the chilies beginning to come up out of the ground. And knowing that before too long we're going to be harvesting. But we want to try to put the red chili stacked enchiladas together here. And this is kind of a New Mexican staple. And we're going to, let's see.
CaJohn.
Yes, sir.
What's the first sauce? Because you've been doing it since before it was cool. I mean, you're a founder, you're an innovator. What's the first sauce that you ever made that you brought to market?
The first sauce that I brought to market was it was actually called Hot Spots. I was a fire protection engineer, and we had Dalmatians, so each one of the sauces had a Dalmatian on it, a different picture, and they all had fire hats on. And they were all of this type of sauce here, the Louisiana style. One was a traditional cayenne sauce. We had a cayenne habanero. We had a straight habanero sauce. We had a habanero fatale mix of a sauce. And then we had the standard jalapeno. So a portion of every one of those sauces that we sold went to the Columbus Firefighters Children's Burn Unit at Columbus Children's Hospital. It was a little cause marketing, and you know, we got a lot of that when I was in the fire business. We always supported that, and so we carried it over into the hot sauce business. And you know, there's a couple people out here. We have Double Comfort Foods that they take their profits and they feed people at shelters. We've got the Bucks over here, and he works with the wounded people. And there's Mary from Double Comfort right there. Say hi, Mary. It's a great job. They've run how many meals this past year? 140,000 meals have gone to places that people were going hungry. So for lack of another pan, I guess we'll just kind of assemble this right here. And it's going to be cold, but it's not the one you're going to eat. So we're going to start with a little, let's see, what do we got here? We got red chili sauce medium. And of course, I can't open it. So we're going to put a little bit of this on the plate and take the tortilla, and these are wonderful red chili tortillas that are made there in Las Cruces for us at the Fresh Chili Company. And a lot of tortillas have color, but this is one of the few ones that actually has spice that I've ever tried. And we're going to make layers here. We've got 3 different kinds of cheese. First layer, we're going to do a cheddar jack mix. And we're going to bring another one. He said I normally would fry these a little bit and put them on here. Then we're going to do a Chihuahua cheese. It's not made from dogs, but and then another wonderful red chili tortilla. And we would normally put this under a broiler, but we don't have one of those here either. We have the stove, I guess I could have done. Cover it with the sauce. Put a little cotija on top. And then, traditionally in New Mexico, we put an egg on top of this. And we fry it. You can get it different ways. I really like to have it sunny side up because it gets it real, get that ooey gooey, you know, going on all over it. And, you know, one of the things that we have there in Las Cruces, and actually what took us to Las Cruces was, as it said in the bio, the Chili Pepper Institute. And, you know, the Chili Pepper Institute, any pepper that you will have seen and pepper seeds on the market that say New Mex, it's a capital N, little u, capital M-E-X. Those were seeds that were developed, or species that were developed, is what I should say, by the people at New Mexico State University. And they spent a lot of time trying to improve the ones that are out there. Better yields, better disease resistance, insect resistance. And the one thing about these is, you know, New Mexico was, for a long time, the #1 producer of chilies in the United States. But then the USDA decided to kind of reclassify things, and what used to just be bell peppers, they put them into chilies. And so California kind of took that over. And the problems that they're really working on right now is the fact that they don't have the labor to pick the chilies. So they pretty much have to work out a mechanization way of picking the chilies, and they've really come a long way. They've gotten to the point where it's not destroying the plant, but the problem is the mechanization, the machines can't tell the difference between red and green. And you know, the red is obviously what happens as it ripens. It makes it sweeter. It makes it a little bit hotter, in my opinion, on some cheese, like the jalapeno. But there's big gems that are this long. There's some pretty good heat. Now, not any heat like habanero type heat, but you know, we have the lumbre, which is a chili that's best when it's green, that's very hot, and we have the sandia, which it's a really hot red, and that's the mountains that's right there by Albuquerque. But sandia means watermelon, so I don't know why they would name the hottest one after a watermelon. It's sweet. And we're going to see if this is ready. Okay, we're going to get this going. There's Dana. Give Dana a hand. She works awfully hard back here getting this stuff ready. This is another Hatch product, and this is a Hatch green chili spice, which has got a little bit of everything good in it and nothing bad except salt. And some people don't think salt is all that bad, but some people do, so we'll let those who are putting it together decide. One of the other things that we like to do in New Mexico with our red enchiladas with an egg is we like to put chopped onion on them. And I particularly like a lot of onion on it, but here we go. I think I'm going to take some of this onion and put a little bit of that in this sauce. It can't hurt, can it? I'll turn on the noise again. Okay, and there's some people like Joel back here who know the answer to these questions, so I've been calling them chilies, but they're also called peppers most of the time. Who was the one who named them peppers? Go way back. Anybody got a guess? Joel?
I think I heard somebody say it, and if I did hear them, they were right. It was Christopher Columbus.
Absolutely. He was going looking for black pepper. So when he got to the country and found the chilies with the people, down in the Caribbean, he took them back to Queen Isabella and said, "We have found the peppers." Now, they were looking for black pepper, or pepper nigrum, which is, of course, in India and Southeast Asia. But the chilies were unique to the Americas. They did get taken around the world by the Portuguese. So the Portuguese is the one that took chilies to China, chilies to Thailand, all the chilies to India. It was just a matter of taking that around the country and around the world, to various countries and introducing them to it. And it became pretty much, in all cuisines. But American, where they were started. I mean, Mexican cuisine has a lot of chili. The Cajuns used a lot of cayenne, and it's great to see the diversification of the palate that's happened here in America. I come from the meat and potatoes Midwest, and I got the name CaJohn from working down in Louisiana with the oil companies as a fire protection engineer, and it was supposed to be like a poke at me. They were kind of making fun of me because this Irishman from Ohio was down there trying to learn everything he could about Cajun food and Cajun culture, and so it was Cajun John, and that got shortened up to CaJohn, and that's what they called me when I was working with them. So we fried the egg. It's pretty much sunny side up with a little runny middle, and this is great food for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm over at the booth at CaJohn's Fiery Foods, which is actually Hot Shots Distributing, and you're welcome to come over and chat and talk chilies, talk hot sauce, talk whatever. We were fortunate enough last night to win a few of the golden chilies with our new sauces. We have a dill pickle sauce, which was going to be, before I was sold, it was going to be my next sauce out. And so the new owner sat on that recipe for 3 years. We would have probably been about the first with the dill pickle sauce, but it's a Serrano sauce. And come over and try it. And then we have a wild mushroom sauce, which is more of an Asian tilt on things, and we'd love to get you over there. And we've got lots of golden chili winners throughout here. We got ones from past years. Go check out Mary's Double Comfort booth. It's really a great cause that she's on. Go see Bucks over here. He was real excited when he won last night. But nobody was as excited as the grand champions who came all the way from Honduras. The Hondurans, they just went crazy. But thanks again for everything. We're going to be feeding you here in a little bit. We ready to bring it out? Not quite. Okay, well, we'll just chat a little bit more. How's that? We don't have a bottle to put this in, but this is a nice little foamy puree. And we'll have a spoon out here so you can serve some onto your sample if you'd like. And we got a couple of hatch places here. There's frozen roasted chilies out here. We have the Hatch Chili Company down at the other end. You know, great products, all from New Mexico. I just can't say enough about, you know, Hatch. Now, the thing is, there's really no such thing as a Hatch chili variety. That's just a Hatch is kind of like Champagne is in France, where it's grown in the area and it's a certified thing, just like Champagne. You can't grow it here in Texas and call it Hatch. You can't grow it in Ohio and call it Hatch. We got to grow it in New Mexico, and there's so much. It's in all of the cooking. It's you know, the difference between New Mex and Tex-Mex is generally the sauce, and the sauce is either red or green. Joel, do you know the official question of New Mexico, the state question?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
It's red or green.
You know, but I was going to ask you, because I was listening to you talk about Hatch and how it's kind of like an appellation, right? Like it's kind of like it has to be grown in a certain place.
Right.
And the same way people from France, from that region, know champagne from other sparkling wine. And the same way some people who like prosciutto might know prosciutto di Parma from other prosciutto that's not from that region. To taste, what sets a Hatch chili apart from a pepper that is grown somewhere else?
Well, in wine, they call it, I always have trouble with this word, terroir. Is that what it is? I mean, it's what comes from the environment. You know, God has blessed the Rio Grande Valley to run through the middle of some really inhospitable land out there. And you know, through the years, it was an old ocean, and it's kind of shrunk down. We live in the valley, and we have a mesa around us. We have mountains on one side of us, the Organ Mountains, which were named by the Spanish conquistadors because it reminded the leader there of the pipe organ that he had seen in a church in Seville, Spain. But we have that spires on one side, and then we have this big wall that's about, I'm going to say it's probably 100, 150 feet. Then there's the mesa on top of that. And the mesa runs pretty much all the way over to Tucson before it's there's mountains around it, but it was an old ocean bed. So a lot of this is cut through, and as it went through all of its changes over the years, it left us with a very fertile valley down there, and the water. One of the things, if you go to the Fresh Chili Company's not website, but if you go to the Facebook page, the thing is, on the Facebook page, Randy, the owner of the Hatch Chili Company, loves to share the secrets and the nuances of the Hatch Valley. And we had something happen last week. A lot of people think the Rio Grande is a mighty river. Well, really not in New Mexico. Most of the time, it's just a bed of sand, and you get a lot of off-road vehicles running up and down it, and so if you cross the bridge, you look down and all you see is tire tracks. But last week they released water from the El Caballo and Elephant Butte reservoirs to come down, and he's actually filming that advancing water. It starts slowly. They're releasing 400 CFM of water at a time, and then they take it up to 2,000 CFM, excuse me. And it was kind of funny watching him stand there and let it go over his feet. And then he said, you know, I realize I better get out of this water because I don't know when this wall of water is coming. But now the Rio Grande has water in it, and it's very important for the farmers of the area because they have the aqueduct type system in the sand that they call it foot acres of water that they allow each farmer, and they flood their fields. It's flood irrigation, and there's kind of switching over because, you know, Tuesday we had 4 times the amount of rain here than we have had all year in southern New Mexico. We have 0.51 inches. So it's an inhospitable but a wonderful valley oasis that we live in out there. So anyway, I don't know if we're ready or not. I can't really see over there. Joel, we got food over there yet?
I think we do.
Oh, awesome. So, thanks again. I hope you enjoy this. This is one of my go-to New Mex recipes, and I love it. And I'm just sorry that I couldn't really prepare it and stick it under there and melt all that cheese and get all that goodness going, but it's not so good cold. But what we've got over here is somewhat the same thing. Please come up and get it. It is there? No. Okay, well, I guess not. I misunderstood what Joel said. So let me look it back here.
Fast food is not good, and good food is not fast.
Well, I guess it's about 10 more minutes, so thank you for your patience. Patience with me and patience with the team. So, you know, any questions that I can answer for people? I can't really see much of anything. But I guess we're losing them, so, you know, we can wrap this up, and I'll go back and kind of help them get this thing put together so we can get this out here for you to try. Thank you so much for your time. Come by the booth, see me. Come by and see Big Vic. He's on next. And Vic Klinko, he's a chef that came from the Four Seasons in Phoenix area. And he is better known around these parts as the executioner, when we had the execution station at our booth. But the new owners decided to discontinue the challenge there. But he can still kind of give you something over there. But please come by, see us. Thank you so much. Enjoy your time here at ZestFest, and you know, try these golden chili winners. You're going to see them around here proudly displaying their trophies, and they really should, because the golden chili just means dedication, perseverance, excellence. It just means the top. It's kind of our Oscars. So enjoy. Thank you so much. Take care.